Hey, what's up, guys? It's Andrew Santowski. I'm giving you my NFL Week 9 bets and leans. Again, this is Friday morning, and I did make my bets mostly on Tuesday. Again, a little early in the week. I did get the better of some lines. I could have did better in a couple lines, but I did place the bets on Tuesday. So let's get into it. The Thursday night game already happened. I didn't have a bet on it. But Thursday night, again, these odds are of Tuesday evening via bookmaker. Thursday night, Baltimore minus 7.5 at Miami. Lamar Jackson he did return for Baltimore. Miami cashed for me last week at 7-point dogs against Atlanta. Both teams are coming off wins. The number seems too high. Miami getting 7.5 at home. Seems like a good deal, but both teams are coming off wins. That's what'll keep me off Miami. Glad it did because Baltimore won 28-6, and Mike McDaniel is probably firmly on the hot seat now. Miami will probably make a coaching change either after the season or in season, but it's going to happen again. So whoever had Miami, they failed to cash as 7.5 point home dogs. So let's get into it. Denver at Houston. Denver currently +1. I have no interest in this game. Both teams coming off wins. Both teams looking pretty good. I mean, Denver looking a little better than Houston. But, yeah, both these teams look like they could be going into the playoffs here. Denver's got a really good defense. So does Houston. Again, Denver coming off a huge win over Dallas and won by like 20. Houston, they defeated the 49ers at home. Houston's 3-4, but Denver's 6-2. So, again, I just have really no lean in this game. San Francisco at the Giants. San Francisco minus 2.5. A lot of action on the Giants. I mean, for that game not to go to 3. And probably a lot of, it's hard to have a lot of belief in San Francisco. They've been up and down, kind of struggled offensively. Again, 5-3 for San Francisco, 2-6 for the Giants. Again, both these teams are coming off away losses, and I don't know. I'm not going to get involved with this game, especially at 2.5. But I can't really fault anybody for taking either side here. I guess I probably understand more of the Giants side here. They're at home. Again, they've lost 2 in a row. They're a couple weeks away from that huge emotional loss to Denver. San Francisco, hey, they might pick up this win here, but they're traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast, 1 p.m. start time. So again, there's a lot of things to look at here. Again, I won't be involved in this game. Both these teams need a win, so I will pass on this game. Indy at Pittsburgh. Again, I feel like everybody's on Indy here. Yeah, Indy did burn me the last week. I was on Tennessee +14. Tennessee really never in that game, unfortunately. But I will be on Pittsburgh +3. I got it for even money. That is one of my bets here. So again, let's look at what I had to say about the game. Everybody is riding Indy's, but Big Drew. My model really likes Pittsburgh in this spot at home, getting 3 points. Indy keeps destroying their opponents. How long can this last? I like Pittsburgh here at home. Again, coming off a home loss to the Packers, they should be motivated to win. And Indy, how much longer are they going to cover these big spreads? Obviously, this is a short spread here, field goal. But again, I'm gonna side with Pittsburgh here. But again, who knows how much of an emotional toll that Packers loss was. I mean, it was really just for Rodgers. But again, Pittsburgh should be in a good spot here. They're on a couple game losing streak. If we're looking at it, they lost to Cincinnati. They couldn't bounce back against Green Bay. Indy's won 4 straight. This seems like a good spot for Pittsburgh at home, getting 3, 1 p.m. game. I like Pittsburgh here. So next up, Carolina at Green Bay. I got Carolina +12.5. I bet at -107. So again, Carolina coming off a devastating home loss to Buffalo. They lost like 40-7. Green Bay is off a huge emotional away victory in Pittsburgh. This seems like a spot for Carolina to cover. The only concern is who will be starting at quarterback for Carolina. I haven't got involved yet, but it's very tempting. It's slightly juiced, but I did get involved. I do have a bet at +12.5, -107. Again, yeah, it would have been nice to have 13.5 for sure. For sure, if you can get 13, do it. obviously don't lay no serious vig on that. But I'm on 12.5 plus 107 or minus 107. And again, it does look like Bryce Young will be starting. And Green Bay tends to play down in their competition, man. You know, we've seen Cleveland defeat them earlier in the season. That's actually their one loss. And let's look. They're on a three-game winning streak. They had a tie 4 weeks ago against Dallas. So again, this does seem like a spot. You know, the only game they've covered recently was that game against Pittsburgh last week, and they haven't covered these double-digit spreads. So again, I definitely do like Carolina here, and I do have a bet on them as well, plus 12.5. Minnesota at Green Bay. The line is currently plus 9.5, juice to minus 114. And again, if you can get 9, get it. I mean, for, you know, minus 110 or under, I'm on plus 8.5. Again, like I said, this is one of the lines that did slightly move against me. Plus 8.5, minus 111. And again, I do like this spot for Minnesota. They're coming off an embarrassing away loss to the Chargers. They have 10 days rest coming in this spot. Detroit's off a bye week. They are division rivals, and Minnesota always seems to play them close. And it looks like they will have McCarthy starting for them at quarterback. Carson Wentz is out for the year, so hopefully McCarthy is ready to get back into playing. I mean, because I'm sure Detroit's defense is going to blitz them often. And again, I see Minnesota, making a valiant effort on defense. And I see them covering the spread. Next up, LA Chargers at Tennessee. Man, Tennessee continues to burn my money week after week, and here I am betting them again. I got them plus 10. Again, this seems like the spot. This seems like a spot for Harbaugh to actually, to lose or play them real close, man. They're coming off a big double-digit victory against Minnesota on a Thursday night. And again, this is my write-up on the game. Tennessee has to cover a game, right? Question mark. They keep burning my money. This is a classic Harbaugh winner cover. Fails to win or cover game. It's a West Coast team coming to the East Coast, playing at a 1 p.m. Eastern time. Tennessee keeps getting embarrassed, and I can see this being a close, low-scoring game. And again, 10 points is a lot, and it's a 2-possession. You're getting 2 possessions worth of points. So again, I like Tennessee here. Hopefully, they play with some pride and dignity that they still have left for the interim coach. And, they're playing for their playing futures as well. So, again, I do have a bet on Tennessee. Plus 10. Let's look at it. Plus 10, minus 110. Next up, Atlanta plus 5.5 at New England. I bet that 6 as soon as it hit. I got Atlanta plus 6, minus 108. My model really likes Atlanta in this spot as long as the game closes under 7. Again, so this is my write-up. Everybody is on New England's, but Big Drew. They can't keep covering these big spreads. Atlanta coming off an embarrassing home loss to Miami. Again, I did have Miami a 7-point home dog, so I was happy that happened. But hopefully Penix is back for Atlanta at quarterback. My model likes Atlanta. And I don't see this game going to 7. That's why I did bet them plus 6. And again, 5's kind of right now in this spot, if I hadn't bet the game, I would wait to see if this game did move to 6. Because 5 is kind of a dead number. It's not, games don't often land on 5. So even if it did go to 4, whatever, I would take the 4. But I would see if this game goes to 6. If I hadn't bet this game yet, it's at 5.5. I wouldn't touch. I mean, I would bet the game by close, but I wouldn't touch it right now to see if I can get a better number. But again, I am on Atlanta in this spot. Chicago at Cincinnati. Chicago minus 3. A lot of money is coming on Chicago. Again, both these teams off losses. This game did open Chicago minus 2. Okay. So, and it looks like the opening odds are actually Chicago plus 1. I don't know if that was from Bet Online. And it was Chicago plus 1. But that might have been the look ahead. Yeah, that was the look ahead, I think. And again, I can see the case for both of these. I mean, I don't think Chicago's that great. Cincinnati, again, their defense, they got multiple players requesting trades on the defensive side of the ball. Again, Flacco may not play, but it seems like he was in practice yesterday, so he may be playing. But I mean, I could definitely see getting involved with Cincinnati +3 at -110 or under. But man, they did have a huge emotional loss yesterday. I think their defense did have a players only meeting, and again, you got multiple players on the defensive side of the ball that want trades. So I mean, there's something is amiss, and maybe Chicago's defense shuts them down, and again, Flacco's dealing with an AC sprain. So again, maybe Cincinnati +3. I don't know if I'm going to get involved with that. I can't fault anybody that does, especially if it's -110 and close. But again, it's Cincinnati +3 or past for me right now. I don't have any money on this game. To the 4:05 p.m. games now. Jacksonville at Vegas. I'm on Vegas +3. My model loves this spot for Vegas. Both these teams are coming off bye weeks. I got Vegas for +3, +101. So again, I got that right away. I can tell that game was not going to 3.5. And I was comfortable getting the 3. And again, both teams coming off bye weeks. Vegas was embarrassed by Kansas City a week ago, or 2 weeks ago. They didn't score a point. My model loves Vegas in the spot, getting 3 points off a shutout loss. And again, Jacksonville needs a win too. I mean, they were embarrassed in, I believe, London by the Rams. So again, they're on a 2-game skid as well. So again, I do like Vegas here, but I can understand why people are taking Jacksonville. They might be the more offensively prime team, but I'm going to take Vegas +3. New Orleans plus the Rams, or New Orleans at the Rams. New Orleans getting 14. I am on the Saints in this game +14. To me, this is their Super Bowl. This seems like a game New Orleans plays the Rams close. Rams coming off a bye week. And I can see them not giving full effort, and New Orleans giving it full effort. This is New Orleans Super Bowl. New Orleans continues to be inconsistent, and the Rams are one of the hottest teams in football right now. And again, New Orleans off an embarrassing divisional loss to Tampa Bay. Again, New Orleans is starting their rookie quarterback. I believe Tyler Show is how you pronounce his name. Could be wrong. So again, hopefully they show some effort. Hopefully they're rejuvenated slightly. And 14 does seem like a lot of points to cover. And I can just see, maybe the Saints defense keeping them in the game. Maybe it is a blowout, shutout loss. The Rams beat them, 26-0 or something. But, hey, I'm gonna say the Saints do a little better. They stop turning the ball over as much, and they keep this game within a couple touchdowns. So again, I'm on the Saints +14. Kansas City at Buffalo. Kansas -2. Again, both these teams coming off wins. Good teams. People can argue maybe Kansas is a little better right now than Buffalo. These teams always play each other close. They always seem like high-scoring affairs. Again, game I don't want no involvement in. Should be a great game to watch, but I won't be personally involved with it. Seattle at Washington. Again, Washington getting 3 points. I don't have a side in this game. I can understand both sides. Seattle coming off a bye. Seattle looking great. Playing really good football on the road as well. Washington +3. They desperately need a win. They've lost 3 straight. That seemed like a great game. I wasn't on it, but looking back, I probably should have been. They were getting 12.5 at Kansas, and again, they lose by 21, but that totally seems like a game they should have covered. It's hard to believe they just could not even cover that game. And again, they've lost 3 straight. They should have Jaden Daniels back at quarterback. But again, I see the sides to both of this. If I had to get involved, obviously it would be on the Washington +3 side. But I can understand that people taking Seattle -3, laying that short 3 points off a bye week. This team looks great. I did not think they were going to look this good this year, but they're 5-2. Again, coming off a bye week. And, they're covering these spreads against these teams. So props to them. I won't be involved with the game, but I understand both sides. Arizona at Dallas. Again, they're only getting 2.5. The number's been bet down a lot, I think, from sharp bettors, smart bettors. And I understand it. Arizona desperately needs a win. They've lost 5 straight, and it seemed like they would have a better team coming into the year. And I just think a lot of these losses are just by a point, by a single possession. You know, it's sad to see because I think Arizona's probably a decent team. And they've looked better with Brissett as quarterback compared to Murray. And Murray, I don't know, his status for this game is uncertain, but they've looked good with Brissett, so I don't know. I wouldn't really hold that against them if they have to start Brissett. Or Jacoby Brissett. And again, 2.5. It's not enough for me to get involved with this game. Dallas needs a win. They're coming off an embarrassing away loss to Denver. You know, their offense is there, but the defense is just not holding it together. But again, I understand both sides here. So, I won't be involved with this game, but I can understand people getting involved on both sides of the fence. But again, it's not enough for me to get involved. So again, I do have 7 bets this week currently. I'm on Pittsburgh +3, Carolina +12.5, Minnesota +8.5, Tennessee +10, Atlanta +6, Las Vegas +3, and New Orleans +14.